Hey guys, welcome to my first ever Rules of Survival video with commentary. Today I will talk about some tips and tricks in becoming the last man standing in Gili Island. So first thing first, I don't really like the new map just because it's more, the old map is just more skill reliant instead of just luck. And the old map has way less guns and is easier to remember the mechanics of all of them. And first thing first, you need to find a good location to drop from a plane. I will talk about my favorite location, which is the observatory. Why? Because there's not many people willing to go there. And there's loads of good loot. I mean loads, you can see in a second. I just dropped in the observatory. And talking about setups, I usually like to use an assault rifle or an SVD with a shotgun. Why? I'll talk about it in a second. First, about assault rifles, I usually love the ones which has less kick, which excludes the AKM, which is known for its huge kick and very high damage. I don't really like that, and I just saw an M14 EBR, which is in my opinion the best gun in the game right now. Why? Because it has very high stability. It deals very good damage to your target, no matter how far away they are, because it deals the exact same damage no matter how far away your target is. And it's an assault rifle. It's just awesome. It's just very all-rounded, and I can use it in mid-range, long-range. And for short range, that's when the shotgun comes in handy. I usually love the shotguns with 5 ammo clips, preferably the AA-12, because you can spam with it. The reload is very fast, and just in case, it still does moderate damage, which is acceptable at mid-range, not just for short-range fighting. Also, its reload is very fast. I don't know if I've said it yet. If yes, my apologies. I just picked the AA-12 up, which I'm very happy about. Right now, I have my two favorite guns in the game right now, which are the AA-12 and M14, which makes me very happy. Like, I just need a scope for the M14 and I'm good to go. And also, I need some healing too. But anyways, I saw a guy right here. You can see from this clip, the M14 stability is just very high, and the damage output is quite fast. My aiming was very bad there, so I didn't kill him as fast as you'd expect it to be. And there's just a random guy crawling on the ground there. Not sure if he's a bot or not. If he's not, I've been dead for ages. But if you didn't know, if there isn't enough 120 players before the game starts, there will be bots that start and that doesn't do anything but picking up loot and walking around. They don't shoot you at all, and you can just pick up easy kills from them. From my experience, before you even land, like when you're still on the plane, they're already on the ground. So if you see someone quicker than you, it's most probably a bot, and you don't have to worry about it. He will just pick up good loot for you. About assault rifles, as I mentioned, the M14 is my absolute favorite because of the advantages I mentioned above. The second favorite are I love two guns. I rank them at the same position, which both are supply crate guns. They are the M249 and the AUG, which is recently added. They're just very good guns. M249 has 100 clip size and does very good damage up very far. Headshot has very high damage, but the kick is although it has a bit of kick, it is acceptable, and if I find it in a supply crate, I would be happy with it. The second gun is the AUG, which is very, very similar to the M4. except it just has higher stability and higher damage in long ranges. I think the third favorite guns are the AR-15 and the M4A1. They're just very similar guns, but among them I like the M4 more because the AR has larger kick than the M4A1. And the last spot, which is the worst assault rifle in my opinion, is the AKM, none other than the legendary AKM. I know it has very high damage, but the kick is just too much for me. I don't really like it. And it doesn't do well in short range, of course, and mid range and long range it does okay, but other guns with no kick, such as the M14, does equally as good, and it's easier to aim with them. Like at long ranges, you often miss with the AKM because the kick is just too big for you to control, and that's why when I see the AKM, I often just skip it. And here's a tip for you: throw out useless things when you can to free up a backpack space, because you definitely need a lot of them if you want to win. Here, I with the 4x scope, I see the guy, and you can see like the stability. It has just no recoil, which is why I love the M14 so much. It does so much damage at that kind of range. It's just insane, Like, it doesn't have damage fall off by range, and it's just awesome. It has a high firing rate. I think the thing you need to be careful about is the burst mode and single mode. I always recommend you to use the single mode. Why? Because the burst mode is just useless. With single mode, you need to click each time you want to shoot, unlike full auto modes like M4. And this is actually a good thing because you can plan your shots, and it won't go to. And with auto shot, sometimes the recoil goes too much, and you don't hit your target. With single shots, you can plan your shots and shoot them one by one, so you can hit your target 100% of the time. But with the M14, I always recommend you to have a scope at least 2 times, or four times would be the best. Otherwise, without the scope, the M14 still performs really good, but it is the absolute best when you have a scope with it. Here, after I believe I cleared out the observatory, I walk over to other zones to look for people. You'll see in a second I made a mistake here. With a melee weapon or a pistol, you can actually run without others seeing your movement tag. I shouldn't have been crouch running here. I should have been just running without crouching, because it would make me go faster, and it doesn't show my appearance, like it doesn't expose me to other opponents as well. Yeah, in this house, just looking around for other people, just in case there was a guy coming here and just one shot me with his shotgun. Here I'm walking towards the training base, looking for people, because there's always loads of people there, dropping there. It's a very popular location. That's why I don't recommend you going for that place, because the observatory just has way more loot than the training base, and it's way less populated, and it is just more covered. Look at this training base location. Shortly I will see a guy just running around, and I could have just shot him, but he was running to cover, so I didn't want to expose myself. You'll see in a second. This is post commentary, by the way. That's why I know everything. There's a house right here, so I'm just crouch walking, not to expose myself. I believe I saw him, but I didn't shoot at him, and I know he's in this house. You can see the footsteps up there. And when you see footsteps, tip 1. When you see footsteps, don't freak out. Just wait for them to expose themselves and boom, one-shot them with your shotgun. Do not freak out when you see other people. Just wait for the best moment and strike. I saw an AS Val right here, but it's not my preferred gun because it drains SR ammo very quickly, and I don't like worrying about ammo all the time, and it's just worse than the M14, I believe. Like, although it's a supply crate gun, I just don't like it. Yeah. You always want a lot of healing, just to keep yourself safe. I already got 4 kills already, thanks to my awareness around the battlefield. Right now I'm walking towards the center of the safe zone just to look for more people. I think the biggest tip in this game is do not camp. Why? Because you make yourself very easy for others to headshot you, first of all. Second, it's just you can't move around and shoot others while you're camping. Like when you're camping, you only have very limited space and angle to shoot at others, while the others know exactly where you are. Other people that move around like me, don't expose their exact location unless it's just not as easy to shoot at moving people than people who are just proning in a house, and you don't get headshotted so often. Here I'm looking for a vehicle and I saw that tuk-tuk, which is exactly what I wanted. With the tuk-tuk, if you didn't know, you can get onto the back and do that, so you don't expose yourself and you can still look around. Credits to Noah from YT for that strategy. Right here, I'm moving towards center, looking for more people. The safe zone is focused around the research edifice area, which is also a very good area too. If you can land there, you should. But there's a lot of people there, although not as much as the training base or the Bitter Lake. It is still a very good location. In the pyramid, there's quite a bit of loot, although not as much as the observatory. There's still a lot of good loot, and I often won games starting from there. I didn't see anyone there, and I saw that supply drop, so I went back onto my tuk-tuk and drove towards it. With supply drops, you gotta be very careful, because if you don't get it, if you're not the first to get it, you're just gonna die. Why? Because there's always others who go for this supply crate, and they're just gonna stay away from the exact location, and they see exactly where you are, because the beacon thing just marks your location, and they can just snipe you. Everyone will shoot at you when you try to steal the supply crate. In a very exposed location. So I'm just acting smart here, using the rubber chicken. Although I'm getting the sprint glitch. Sometimes when you're sprinting, you don't run as fast. You just run like normal speed. Now here I see some gunshots. When you see gunshots, same tip: don't freak out, because don't shoot randomly, blindly, mindlessly, because you will expose yourself to your opponent and just get yourself killed quicker. Here I'm holding up my shotgun, crouch walking, without exposing my identity. I knew there was a guy here, so I'm acting very carefully just to stay alive and get all that loot in the supply drop. Another strategy is to do a hit and run. Like, you drive a car there, you get off, get the loot, and then just run. But I'm not on a car right now, so I gotta be very careful. Oh, this guy was just very blind. I don't know how he didn't see me, so I was very lucky and got the kill. Sometimes it's not just about skill, sometimes luck matters. Luckily that guy was just blind, he didn't see me, so I was able to get him killed very quickly with my AA-12. And I got this ghillie suit, which is very good at not exposing yourself from very far. Without that grass-looking color, you expose yourself very easily and get sniped by barrettes and stuff from with 8 times very easily. They see you very clearly, so but with the ghillie suit, when you walk in the grass, you don't expose yourself that much. That's why I always love to pick up ghillie suits from supply crates. Here I'm walking toward that supply crate, and I'm looking for others. I thought that Hanku Junk was a man there, so I shot at it, and no damage tag, so I was like, whatever, I'll just get this drop. And I saw that it has been looted already, so you see those abandoned loot on the ground, so I instantly ran away just to prevent headshots to my head. Usually people are nearby. That drop was dropped not very long ago, so I knew he was nearby, so I ran away instantly just to prevent from dying. So I heard this motorcycle right here. So I was just camping here. He went for that loot mindlessly, so here was the punishment. Death. So yeah, he died. I had better awareness than him, so I was able to get him killed. And here I am, 6 kills. So by now you should basically get the basic skills on surviving, like the basic tips. Don't be very careless. You have to be careful at all times, of course. But you need to apply strategies as well. Sorry for the lag here. And you can't just run it mindlessly to get supply crates, because as I said, you get killed very easily. Here, I don't know why, I forgot why I got off. Maybe I heard some gunshots. I was just looking around. By the way, at high ground, you're always at an advantage. You see in a second. With high ground, you can snipe others easily, while others down there can't really see you. You see in a second there. There's a guy walking down the hill, as you can see, so I pulled out my M14 and just shot him. Shot him death. So I got him, and I heard SVD shooting from around the house over there. So I was just looking around, and I didn't really see him anywhere. I believe I didn't see him, so I was just walking around looking for others. When you're holding a gun, always remember to crouch, because otherwise you would show footsteps to others and you expose yourself very much. Here I heard a barrette at the back, as you can see on the top. The guy just used a barrette to kill 37 Kaka or something. So I was looking at the back. Just to kill him first, just to prevent myself from being killed by him later. So here I saw him, and look at the firing rate and the accuracy on the M14. It's just ridiculous, man. Like, it killed him so fast, and it didn't have any recoil at all. It's just very easy to aim. That's why I love the M14 so much. Right now the shotgun is probably pointless. Right now it's just a sniper's battle. So yeah, you should probably use a sniper to replace the shotgun at this point. But I thought, yeah, screw it. I couldn't bother picking up that barrette back there, so I just gave up. Just stuck with the shotgun and the M14, because the M14 is just too good, you know. So I saw that car right there. I shot it a couple times, but I just couldn't get him. I believe I made that car explode, but somehow that guy escaped, and I didn't see him at all. By the way, this was a mistake. Don't do what I did. because this exposed myself very much, and I was in a very exposed area, especially with my ghillie suit, which was completely opposite to the color of the rock. Luckily, no one was there shooting at me, so I was just walking around, moving in a safe zone, finding the closest high ground possible, which was the mini hill in front of me. Right now, there's 7 people left, so I have to be very careful. I'm very close to that victory. Just looking around with that 4x scope. The 4x is probably my favorite scope, because with the 8x you don't get to see the things around you that much. But with the 4x, like the 8x, you blocks everything around the scope area. But with the 4x, you can see around better, and you can prevent yourself from getting backstabbed or side shotted. Right here, I was walking up towards this hill, looking at that house, which usually has people camping there. So at this moment, I saw a lot of people died here, so I was quite worried that I just dig my own grave. So I was just walking around, saw a lot of dead people. So here it would get quite tense. I would get shot in a moment, so I lie down, popped a sports drink. Remember, when at late game, use all your possible resources as wisely as you can. But of course, after the game ends, the resources you've picked up this game are no use anymore. So remember to use all of them. So right here, a guy just died. There's only 6 people left, so I'm just acting very carefully, and I heard gunshots over there. Can you guys see him? Because I don't. I did not ever see him at all. Am I just blind or something? If you guys see him, comment down below, because teach me let me my sight better. Right here, I got shot. The first thing you wanna do after you get shot is just jump around, because it makes you harder to hit. And then after you think you're safe, just lie down, heal up, and just try and look for him again. That's exactly what I did over here. So I was still trying to look for him, and I was still blind enough to not see him, although I still don't see him now. I got shot again twice, so I was freaking out, jumping around. So I was Do you guys see him? I don't at all. I'm just blind, maybe. Yeah, comment down below if you see him. So I was jumping around. When I felt I'm safe, I just lie down and healed up. So I feel like, I don't want to mess with him, so I just lied here. Was just looking around at that roof. I didn't see him at all. So I was stuck here, walking around this hill. Was hoping that if I change up my angle of looking at things, I might see him. But in this case, I didn't. So I was just sitting here, in the side of safe zone. I was quite nervous here, and I heard those gunshots coming over there, so I instantly went over to that guy. I heard a M249, which is also a very good gun, but it is very loud, and it does a lot of damage. Right here, I didn't see him. I thought that black bush was a man, but it wasn't. I shot a bullet at it. It was a mistake because I exposed myself a lot. But luckily, it didn't. I didn't dug my own grave in this case. So a guy died outside of the safe zone. There's only 3 people left. So right here, I was wondering, what do I do? So I was just sitting here, looking around, looking for the last 2 people, hoping to get this win. So chill out when you're not in a safe zone. You don't have to get to it as soon as possible, because unlike in PUBG, it doesn't do as much damage. And here I saw him, and I was using the power of the M14 and shot him dead. I was looking for this guy, and I saw him, and I shot him in his leg for a couple times, and he was dead. And there we go, the 10 kill win, ladies and gentlemen. So here are all my tips. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned from this, and goodbye. See you next time.